Okay, and we're back. I just had to do that really quickly, Jimmy.
No problem. No, that's no problem. No.
I'm sorry, but I wanted to make sure we did that. You chime right back in. I'm out of here.
Yeah. No,
I'm so into it, Jimmy. You're so awesome.
Well, I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure, Matt, that you realize, the impact that it can make. So in other words, instead of listening to those people that are saying it's just another gimmick, they're going to be there. And let me just tell you this: the more you do, the more of them there are going to be. The good news is that once you get to where you can kind of not listen and not hear that as much, where you almost tune in to where you change your frequency, where you don't hear them as loudly as you hear the people that are telling you this is the best thing I've ever seen, and I this has changed my life, So I think you've got a product that, in reality, I know the market beats you down. It does it to everybody. But here's the thing is man, you're just a few people away. You're just a few key people of finding that you change their life away from literally having this take off. The good news is there's never in the history, in all of history, been a time that was greater where you can amplify your message, especially on a shoestring budget. That's what's great about this now is so let me get back to this. When we know what the product is, we're wanting to help people that are 50 to 60 pounds overweight. We've kind of said who we want to work with, which is ideally, men and women, but we want to target, as far as that goes, women. The next question becomes, where are those people? Because once we know where they are, then we can begin to market to them in a way that we can either get in the middle of what they're doing or we can bring them to wherever you are. So let's talk about that a little bit. Where have you seen that, you've mentioned you've been giving some of the product away, you've been working with the medical field. It sounds like you've tried a couple of different things. Where has it been most effective? In other words, where you've seen some results and that you kind of saw a glimpse of, hey, these people are turned on by this?
Well, honestly, it's only been with associates and people that I either know or work with or have ties with. The people I actually had a PR person actually in L.A. who helped me put it in front of some celebrities and also some gifting suites, which was very nice of her. And then also I gave some away at some trade shows. I actually went to a show here in Charlotte, gave some away. I've given away. I've put press releases out on the internet for giveaways, also just to try the program, because I want people to experience and just talk about it, because even I don't mind giving away many. I've given away hundreds. I don't mind, because to me, sometimes you have to give to get. And my philosophy in this business right now is, look, I'm providing another method. My method may not work for everyone, but I know I can help many people, and that's the direction that I take. And because I believe that my product has worth and value, and that people who will try it will succeed, and those who don't, well, there's that one solution doesn't exist for everyone. And I found the same thing for me, because that's why I came up with this idea for this system, because all the solutions that I thought would work for me didn't work either. So, so the people that I know that would say, yes, let me try it, I'll do it for you, those are the people who have found, man, this thing is great, But the people that I've given it to that don't have any vested interest, it was a freebie, or, I find also that they are not as full-heartedly committed, or they have no interest in seeing the product through. And even if I get a small testimony from them, like, oh, yeah, it was great, I liked it, so forth, that's nice. But at the end of the day, it's not helping me progress further. So, I'll tell you right now, after the first year, I'm trying this new direction of trying to get in with the medical community. I actually hooked up with a physician down in Texas. He's a chiropractor. He's also a vet. He's also a weight loss certified coach. That's what he does for a living. And I sent him a product. He said, looks interesting. Let me take a look at it. So I sent him and his wife one, and 3 days later, he calls me back like, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I said, this is awesome. I want many units. So he's, and this is a guy who does weight loss for a living. But finding people just to give me some face time has been the most challenging thing for me. Right. It's unbelievable how many times I've gotten kicked off of boards just trying to give away a product because they don't like me on these message boards. They think I'm peddling and selling, but all I want to do is find people who want to try it, and it's amazing.
Right. Well, here's the thing, Matt, too, is, if you just give it to people a lot of times, they're not going to see the value, and people almost have to have some skin in the game,
Yes,
and there's a time. And here's the thing: there's a time for giving away, and there's ways to do that in a way that benefits people as well as you. And we've got limited time today. Let me just tell you this off the bat: what I'd love to do, because it's tough to do it on this kind of a time frame, is I'd love to give you a couple of just Skype 1 hour to 1 hour free coaching sessions where we can get a little deeper on this, because it's hard to do it in this format in a very short period of time, because I think there's some things we really need to dig a little deeper on as far as, really, first thing is you've got to get to a point where, where it's something that you completely are sold out on making happen, and also that you've got, I know the business can beat you down. I mean, I can hear it in your voice, that, you're kind of frustrated with everything. And that's natural. I know. That's completely natural. Let me just tell you, because, but here's the thing is the more things you try, sooner. If you really want to do something, what's great about it now is just keep trying some things. And what's great about it is when you find someone, whether it be working with me or someone else that's built a business from the ground up, or someone that's actively promoting items online now, there are little steps that you can find that can save you time and money like you can't imagine. And that's some of the things I want to talk to you offline that we'll do after the fact, as far as just some little tricks and trades. And I'll be glad to share some of those things. And maybe we'll even come back after we do this to kind of see where Matt is here in a couple, 3-4 weeks, and kind of get an update. But here's what's great, Matt. Anything that you're not sure of how to do, the days of saying, well, I just don't have that, and I don't have the money to do that, those days are over.
Yeah.
Because here's what's great. Anything that you're not sure how to do, you can go on YouTube and punch in, how do I, whatever it is. There's going to be 1 million people to tell you for free. There's a mentality change when you come to a point where you say, you know what, when you stop saying, I don't know how to do that, or I'm not sure how to do that, and you just say, I'm going to figure out how to do that. And I know that you've been trying some things, and here's the thing is, a lot of things you're trying, with some minor tweaks, can probably work. The key really is to get focused, not even is on who it is, finding out that person, getting in the middle of where they are. So, for instance, let's just use this for example. Let's just bounce this around. Let's say you're looking for 50 to 60-pound overweight women. Where do those women typically, where can you find them? There's an unlimited place. You're talking about forums. There's an unlimited way to do that on Twitter, on different places that I'll be glad to show you, where you can target those client people, not just to find them as clients, but where you can get more information, where you can make yourself and your product better. Because here's what I found is, it is a give. The economy's changed. It's no longer asking you will receive. It's giving you will receive. But by giving, what it can be a lot of times is education, is information. And then once you've gotten them where you build that trust, and they understand that you're in this to add value, then at that point it just really becomes. I'm gonna quote Dee that I've heard her say this. People buy from people they like. Mm-hmm. Isn't that right, Dee?
That's right. People do business with people they like.
That's exactly right. So here's how you get people to like you: is you just add value. It's the story to life. The more value you add in the marketplace, the more you're going to get back. It's not even about your product as much as it is on the whole system. In other words, here's what I want to encourage you to do. You've had these people. Sit down with those people and do a short video with a picture of them before, and say, let them tell how they did the system and the changes they got. Sit down and do a video where you say, here's what's really going on, and here's the benefit for you. You can do it with your computer, just recording your screen right there, looking at it. But here's the thing is get your face out in front of people where they become comfortable with you. And here's what's great about it is the people that you may attract will probably not be as much the same people as I would attract. But here's what's great about it is, with the world we live in today, literally you can become famous in your area in just a few months. Yeah. Really, you have the world at your... I'm talking about, I live in a town of less than 5,000 people, and I write a book. I start coaching, and because I started reaching out, I'm doing interviews in L.A. I'm doing interviews like tonight in Atlanta, last week in London, England, with my accent. I mean, come on, you know? So here's the thing is, you can do this. There's never been an easier time to do it. The key is making, in other words, think of it like everything can be just a little out of focus. You can make minor adjustments in what you're doing and who you're attracting, and that's what I want to work on with you offline, and just kind of tell you some little tricks of the trade of how to find those people, how to identify them, and how to add value to them in a way that in reality, you become irresistible because you're the go-to person, not because of your product, but because of all the value you're adding to their life. And so that's what I want to encourage you. Let me ask you one other question real quick, because, you know, what do you think you're lacking right now? What do you think's lacking as far as what do you think would be, if I could get this, if my business could really take off?
Two things: time and money.
Okay. Time and money. Okay.
Everybody's answer.
Sure.
Time is really probably my biggest impediment. I have three-year-old twins that I'm part-time,
awesome.
Stay-at-home dad. I work for a company 4 days a week,
right.
And then so that leaves me very little time to work on the business. I used to stay up till 1 o'clock every night working on the business, and I developed the business from the ground up. I built the website, developed the watch, the whole plan, all the flow charts. Wrote the book. I mean, the entire system was built from the ground up. All the packaging, I did develop the boxes, everything, the charts. So it's been, I found that I thought the hard part of creating the system, I thought that was difficult. But when it comes to marketing, it was nothing. I enjoyed the creation of it because the marketing is awful. It's just it's probably the most difficult thing right now for me because it takes sometimes money and it takes time to go out there and market. So, and I'm not targeting the right markets. I'm not going about the right way. And then, I'll tell you, this first year has been a very difficult learning experience, and I'm trying to change the direction of the business. But now I'm just, I've got a direction that I want to go in. I've just got to figure out a better way to manage my time and find the funds that I need to do the things I need to do with. I do have some limited funds, but it's just not, for advertising.
Well, Matt, I know that you are in a situation that a lot of people are in, and Jimmy, I am so thankful that you've been able to get on the call here with us and on the line and just kind of coaching Matt and guys. I want to thank you both for being on the show. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time. I even opened this time slot up a little bit more for you guys. Lesson, we need to put a little more time in there. Matt, thank you so much for being on the show. I definitely want to have you back. We want to get an update. Jimmy, can you tell the world where they can find you?
Yeah, absolutely. They can find me at bemoreuniversity.com, www.bemoreuniversity.com. And I really appreciate being on here. And it's tough in a small time, but I think I'm going to work with Matt some, and I'd love to bring him back and give an update at some point also, Dee.
That would be awesome. And Jimmy, we would love to have you back if you're open.
Thanks. I'd love to.
All right. Awesome. You are listening to the D Factor Radio Show. I am Dee Williams. You can give us a call at 404-355-8699 or at 866-923-2860. We are on all social media outlets at Your D Williams. Listen, we'll be back in a moment, and we're going to be talking about crowdfunding again, but from an investment perspective. This is going to be very interesting. Have a great guest. We'll be right back.
Hey.